Sikandar, great performance. At what time did you actually start believing that this match could come in your side?
Before the first ball was bowled. I personally thought, as I said, we were 15 or 20 runs short. But I really truly believe in this group of boys. We knew that if we can field well and take all our chances and cut those important twos, we could really win this game. And the way Garava and Mabunu started the first 2 overs, and then of course we had early wickets. Brad took a wicket in the 4th over, then Mabunu took one in the 5th over, and to have and then I think Iftihar got out in the 7th over or something, like 8th over. So to have Pakistan down for 30 odd, I thought that was a start we needed.
And just like your belief from the first ball, do you think there's another belief that this team could advance further?
We're going to take one game at a time. All our energies and focus was on Pakistan. Now with trips to Bangladesh, we'll do our analysis. We'll take one game at a time. But inshallah, I genuinely believe in this group of boys. But what we have done is open the group for everyone. Everyone who plays good cricket can basically win. And you never know where Zimbabwe end up.
Well bowled, Sikandar. Is Brad Evans your go-to man for the last over now?
I think all of us could be the go-to bowlers. I think it basically depends. I thought, so when Skipper asked me what my opinion is, should Brad bowl the 19th or the 20th? My opinion was that we try and kill the game. If Garava has been bowling exceptionally well. If we can leave 15, 16 runs in the last over, I think Brad being playing the first game, I thought the more runs we can leave for the youngster, the better. But I just saw the way he bowled. He held his nerve. Credit to him. Credit to the whole group, to be honest.
And for yourself, you've been bowling a lot of variations in Australia. Is there anything new we can expect from you as the World Cup progresses?
Possibly I try and work hard on batting and bowling as well. Try and bowl as well as I can, try and bat as well as I can. As I've always said, if one department doesn't fire, it doesn't really bring me down. It kind of gives me that extra push that I have to make sure my other department fires. At the end of the day, it is what it is. And alhamdulillah, if we come out on top, for me, I find myself in a space where I'm grateful to be still playing cricket. Alhamdulillah that we won today.
How highly do you rate that win in terms of your career? Obviously, the number 4 ranked side in the world, 1 run win, defending, a modest total on a good batting deck.
Yeah, I think since I've been part of Zimbabwe cricket, I would rate that the best victory we've had, because there's no better stage. This is World Cup, the biggest stage of all, and to beat Pakistan by 1 run, as you said, the modest total. I mean, you're going to have to do everything right to defend that, and I think which we did. So for me, that's probably the best victory I've been part of with Zimbabwe.
You got man of the match tonight. How much do you owe that to Regis's glove work there for your 3rd wicket? That was pretty impressive, wasn't it, down the leg side?
Brother, to be honest with you, fine, yes, alhamdulillah, I've got the man of the match. Had we won the game and had this trophy goes to, or could have gone to somebody else, I wouldn't have cared less. Listen, sometimes it is like that. One guy who gets man of the match, but if you look at all of us, the way Williams bowled, the way Ryan bowled that 1 over, the way Garava, Mabunu, Blessing, and Brad, this could have gone to anybody, and I wouldn't have cared less. But most important goal was to win this game, and which we've done that.
How exciting is it that you're still alive for the semi-finals as well? It looks like a really wide open group now.
I thought the Irish boys did that yesterday as well to the other group. So it's quite nice to be here where the group is wide open now, and not just wide open, that Zimbabwe's got a really good chance to achieve something. I'm not going to start looking or thinking about the semi-final. I'm going to take one game at a time and look at Bangladesh and take it from there.
All right. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Sikandar, what you say about your own performance, particularly this year? You have 6 T20 international 50s. One was in 2015 and now 5 in this year. So great year for your own performance, individual performance. What do you say about it?
Sir, I'm a man of very little words when it comes to my own performances. If there is one word that could sum up everything you've asked, when it comes to, I know you've only mentioned batting, but I like to take my bowling with my batting. If there is just one word that could sum it up for me, that word is alhamdulillah. I have no words. The journey my family and myself were on close to a year and a half ago to where we are now. It's hard. It's really hard. Like I said, one word, alhamdulillah, is basically all I can say, sir.
You sort of said earlier it was the best win in your time, but how about in the history of sort of Zimbabwe cricket? I mean, had some famous wins against Australia, I think 1983 World Cup. I mean, do you think this might even sort of topple that? Or
listen, I'm going to have this conversation with the head coach and actually ask him which victory was better, 1983 one or the 2020 or this year one, today one. So I'll let him answer that. Once he tells me, I probably can answer that. At that time, I wasn't following Zimbabwe, as you know. For me, it was just education, get graduated. So I was a very late guy to pick up cricket. So maybe I'm just trying to make up for the lost time.
And you gave a shout out to Ricky Ponting. Can you sort of just explain that a little bit and what?
So I couldn't sleep much last night. For me, this game was playing over and over again. How am I gonna bat? I made a few notes and I was reading them and I was going over it again and again and again. And I said, I'm going to stick with this because for Zimbabweans, a lot of the learning is on the job. We don't get to play top nations a lot. We don't get to play under light a lot. This is my first game at Perth. So a lot of my learning and a lot of Zimbabweans learning is actually on the day of the game. So I had a few ideas. I watched a few games and I made a few notes and I was in my head. My body was sleeping, but my mind was constantly spinning, reading, thinking about the game. So when I woke up, a friend of mine sent me a message and he said, hey, have you seen a clip on ICC page? And I said, no. He said, before I ruin it for you, maybe have a look. And that was Ricky Ponting, talking about Zimbabwe and in particular me. Listen, some of my friends and family members messaged and they said they had a kind of tear in the eye. For me, I had goosebumps. One of the greats of this game talking about Zimbabwe and in particular me. Not that I needed an extra kick, but if I needed one, that clip did the job for me. So I wanted to stay calm, but at the same time be pumped up for this game.
Sikandar, how important this win is for Zimbabwe cricket, especially to inspire the next generation of cricketers back home, especially this win and other wins against the major teams? So, brother, we spoke about this yesterday as well, and I'll tell you, we have a lot of youngsters now picking up this sport back home. A lot of the parents are accepting that their kids can have a future in this sport. So I personally feel that this group have an added responsibility to make sure cricket grows in Zimbabwe. We always talk about that Zimbabwe has a very small pool of players, but that's because not many players may be playing or taking this sport. We want to make sure that this group of boys can actually encourage and achieve something where not just the players, but their families and everybody can truly believe that there's a future in the sport and we can raise the flag high. Thank you, everyone.